should be live now.
Okie dokie.
Let me just verify, which I'm sure we are, because that always happens to me.
Yeah, it's not on my.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah, I
We
just saw
are.
it. Yeah.
Yay.
Yep. So let me get my screen here set up so we can start talking.
Okay.
Have that. And now I need to pull up the chat. And I don't see anybody. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, somebody.
My sky. Hi. There's Denise.
Awesome.
So, hi everyone. Welcome to the Raven Wolf channel. Tonight we were supposed to have the R&R show, but there's been some technical difficulties from Ransom side. So it's just the R and Jen show tonight.
Hi.
So welcome to the Raven Wolf channel. I'm so glad that we finally made this happen. So welcome.
Are you talking to me or them?
Yeah, to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, girl. Yeah, I'm like super excited because we talked about this a while back, and now we finally are making it happen. And we just did such a cool experiment with this thing. I can't wait for everybody to hear about it because it was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you said, I don't know, it was, I want to say like 3 months ago when I told you I wanted to have you in the show. I remember I kept telling you, and then I kept feeling bad because, you know, I didn't follow through, but for whatever reason, you know how, you know, things happen or not happen for a reason. And anyways, recently you reached out to me and I was thinking about you. So it's just, I mean, it never ceased to amaze me how things work.
Yeah. Perfect timing though.
Yeah. Divine timing, right?
Totally.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I got something on my eye. Hi, Anya. So tonight we're just gonna, we did an experiment like Jen was saying. Well, why you don't explain to us a little bit about the labyrinths?
Okay, so I don't know, I don't remember exactly how this came to my awareness, but these kind of things happened to me. And I heard about this really cool thing called the labyrinth. And what's great about it is for people like me who sometimes struggle with meditation, like we all know how important meditation is, but some of us kind of struggle with the stillness of meditation. Hello. So when I heard it was a form of meditation, I was like, oh yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I got to try this, right? Yeah. Because who doesn't want to meditate more? And there's actually a website called Worldwide Labyrinth Locator, and they're pretty much all over the world. I found 2 of them like right down the street from my house.
That's awesome.
And then I helped you find one near your house.
So, yes, I want to, if I get a chance, I'm going to copy paste the link of that website. So if people wants to search in their area for a labyrinth, they can, because I think that that's awesome, because you send me that and I searched for it, but I couldn't figure it out. And then you helped me find one that it was closed.
Well, so, and the trick is when you use the search, try putting in the city and the zip code and make sure you put your search parameters like 50 miles, 25 miles, you know, because if you have it set on 100, then you're going to get a lot of them show up from far away. So you have to, you have to set that up. So anyway, so then I did some research on the labyrinth and I found out that it's really like an ancient thing. The oldest labyrinth that they found is over 4,000 years old. And I think it's in Egypt. It was a 2-story labyrinth. And what it is the labyrinth is the spiral shape. So it's sacred geometry. And what it represents is it represents the journey to source and then the rebirth back out. So I made some notes because I wanted to make sure I hit the key points, but
I want to say something. I don't know if you got to see the video I made.
I did.
And you know, the things that I was reading is exactly what you were saying. It's like a journey that, you know, you begin, and then when you're in the middle, you're in a safe zone, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's really weird because when you first start walking it, so you walk what a lot of people think a labyrinth is a maze, but it's really not a maze because there's only one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
So
see, I didn't know the difference until I read that. So yes.
Yeah, and you're not going to get lost, so there's no worry about that. But some of the things that I learned about the labyrinths is that their symbolic meaning is like passages of time, spiritual growth, enlightenment, connection to source, rebirth, resurrection, evolution, progress, spiritual path, initiation. And what I thought was really cool is that the lines on the labyrinth, there's 7 like rows that you kind of walk in and out through. And they represent the 7 sacred planets, which I thought was really cool. So,
here, now I'm curious to know what the number 7 in the Galactic Mayan dream spell calendar means. I don't know. I feel like it's something important. So 7 is the resonant. 7 is the midpoint between 1 and 13, mystical alignment, resonance, self-acceptance, technical of the sacred, direct connection with the source. 7 is the ray of mystical power, the foundation of the individual self freed within the 2 points of polarity. Your soul calls forth your ability to decode the hidden mysteries. Claim your mystical wisdom by acknowledging your personal relationship to the source. And it's 7. Wow.
There you go. So yeah, so the way it works, well, when I did it the first time, I was like, all right, I'm going to try this. This seems kind of cool. Let's see what happens. So you go in and you can either form a question before you go in, or you can just clear your mind and like receive whatever messages come to you. Or, you know, if you're thinking about something specific. So the way it works is there's actually science behind it with the walking, like the twisting and the turning, like of going with your body going left and then right. And what it's supposed to do is put you like in the center of your brain.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's science behind it, but you know, it's really kind of a mystical experience, when you say.
Oh yeah. yeah. And you know, I'm the kind of person, I guess I could blame my Virgo rising in Western.
Hey, I'm Virgo rising too. That's
really? Well, it actually makes a lot of sense because you mentioned that you kind of struggle with meditation, and I do too, but I kind of now, what's the word? Procrastinate?
Procrastinate, yeah.
Procrastinate it. And I, you know, so doing the labyrinth thing, it is a form of meditation. And, you know, people like you and me that, you know, we struggle just sitting down because we feel like we have to constantly move.
Yeah.
That like gets us in a, like, I don't know, concentrating on meditating without even really thinking or stressing it too much, because I think that's our struggle, you know, because we sit and we try to focus and then this idea pops in and then this and you're like, no, I just want to focus. So
I just can't sit still, and if I sit still, I fall asleep. So that's my struggle. So a lot of times when I do the meditations, I end up falling asleep. So for this was kind of cool because it's like an active meditation. And and the stuff that you get is like, it's amazing, and you're totally consciously aware. You know, it's not like sometimes when you meditate, I mean, I guess when you meditate, you remember all that stuff, but a lot of times, like I either go into some weird place where I'm not awake or I'm not asleep, and I don't necessarily always remember where I've been, or you know, so, and you can actively, you know, ask questions and receive answers.
Yeah, that's awesome. You were telling me that. So the first time that you did it, how did you start? Like you got there and then.
Well, so we get there, and the first time I went in and asked a specific question, and I didn't get a whole lot of answers. I think the answer I got was to be open to all possibilities. Like I asked a specific question about a certain person, like, oh, you know, what's my relationship, you know, or whatever. I was like, is he my twin flame or isn't he?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's funny. The universe is like, really? Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that.
the universe is like, just be open to all possibilities, you know. So I'm like, oh, okay.
That's so, I love the answers from, you know, the universe.
Yeah. And then I found that the more times that I went, I was able to get more information. And what I noticed was if I take a notebook with me and I just write down every random thought that comes to my head, every single thing, then later I can look at it and like, and see the whole message.
Yeah.
It's kind of a trip, and it kind of helps you. Like for me, I think it's kind of like psychic abilities practice, because it teaches you how to listen to that other voice that's a little bit more quiet than our conscious mind, you know, the one that kind of whispers instead of shouts at you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can definitely agree with that. It not only you know, helps you meditate, but it also, like you were saying, it helps you enhance your abilities, because you're tapping to things, you're connecting with source, you're getting information, and you're learning to trust, like you were saying, by writing things down and then later look over it. Like, it's also trusting your intuition, because you know, with me, I don't know, I'm sure with you too, but with me, I overthink about things too much. Like, I will get an idea come in my head and I'm like, no, that's just me thinking that. And then you know, it keeps annoying, like, no, just write that down. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I struggle with that. So if you keep doing that, I feel like you build a relationship with your intuition.
Yeah, you become more like aware of it and more tuned in to what that,
trust it.
Yeah, what that voice sounds like. And I did read somewhere that the labyrinth helps you get in touch with your higher self. So yeah,
I believe it. Yes. Yeah. Actually, when I did it today, but we can talk about it later, but when I did it, you know, intentions with anything, it's the main thing, right? Yeah. The spiritual realm. So my intention was going there was to connect with source and my higher self.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
But anyways, continue. So the first time when you did it, you went with a question, and then the universe was like, well, here's your answer.
Yeah, and I got a couple of like really short answers. It wasn't like, you know, a big drawn out thing. And I don't think I got a song the first time, but I noticed like the more I went, like random songs would pop into my head while I was walking the labyrinth. And
wow.
Yeah, and it would kind of correspond to, you know, something that was going on. And it was kind of fun to go and sometimes not ask questions and just see what would come, and then sometimes ask, you know, something very specific. And I took my kids, and they're like really skeptical. They think I'm crazy. And they even enjoyed it. They were like, yeah, we got a song, or they got some messages too. So, you know, I wanted to test it out and take people that were kind of like not spiritual people or non-believers,
to see what they get.
Yeah, and see what happened. And everybody I've taken to the labyrinth has come back with a message. Awesome.
Yeah. And I don't want to say I was skeptical, because I'm really open to everything. Yeah. But it's one of those things that you don't believe it until you do it.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't believe it. It's just that you're kind of, okay, let's see. You go in there with an open mind. You go there with an open mind, not expecting, oh, no, nothing is going to happen, or, yeah, I'm going to have this experience. You know, just no expectations. Just be open-minded. And if you get something, awesome. If not, hey, cool. You checked it out.
Yeah. Now I totally lost my train of thought. But one thing I did notice about the labyrinths, which is kind of strange, is that a lot of them are located at Episcopal churches. There are privately owned, like people build their own labyrinth, and you can make an appointment and go, you know, to their house or their yard or whatever. Yeah. But a lot of them are at these Episcopal churches. I don't know anything about Episcopalian. I don't know, but it's kind of cool because they're open, like they're usually 24 hours. Like you can go there whenever you want.
The one that I went was in that whatever church. And actually I was very surprised, because first, I mean, I don't know anything about that religion or whatever, but my background as born and raised Catholic, and then leaving Catholic religion to, you know, being practice Christianism, I guess, just being a Christian. And I don't know, I feel like they never really touch very spiritual stuff. And when I read the sign from the labyrinth that I went, where it was explaining what it was very like spiritual stuff, you know, and
Yeah.
it surprised me. So,
Yeah. Well, it's kind of one of those ancient spiritual practices that maybe as we like the church modernized, they were like, oh, you know, hooey or whatever. But in Europe and stuff, they built them inside the Catholic, like cathedrals. And the Romans, yeah, the Romans used them. The Greeks used them. There's some mythology, I think, with the Greeks that they thought that it would like trap the Minotaur or whatever, that, you know, like bull man thing. There was, he lived in the labyrinth, and I don't know, they trapped him in there. But so yeah, there's a lot of like there's a lot of ancient what would you call it, like mythology around it, and just all cultures, like the Native Americans had them, and the Hopi Indians, like they had a thing with the labyrinth, like their own meaning. I think it was like it represented the 4 directions with them. And it's just really fascinating that all these different cultures used the same spiritual.
Also the Mayans, because I found something that I will share with you guys in a little bit. That they have, I think it's called what was it? An Orion.
Oh yeah, the Orion, like Orion constellation or Orion.
Let's see. It was the Orion Maya. My thing is frozen. The Orion Maya labyrinth. Yes. The mirror. I'm sorry. The mirror of Orion Maya labyrinth. That was a mouthful there. Jeez. But so now that you explained a little bit more about what the labyrinth is, and you know how you can find one, I put a link. I think I can. Let me see if I can put it.
And they're totally free. And if you have 2 legs and you can walk, you can do this.
Yes, that link that I just posted is for you guys to find a labyrinth near your location. So,
you know, it's like sometimes people, they don't like, they hear about these things and they're just kind of like, oh, you know, whatever. But until you experience it, like once you do it, you'll trip out, right?
Yeah, definitely. But so yeah, I definitely recommend you guys just to try it out. You know, why not? But so today I went to the one the closest one was 30 minutes away from where I live. But so I went there, and you went too, correct?
Yeah, well, you had that great idea. Tell them your great idea that you had. I think this was really cool, and it was fun.
So this morning I woke up like very excited because I talked to Jen yesterday, and you know, we touched base about doing a show and me going to the labyrinth today. So I woke up very excited, and I texted Jen saying that we should ask a question, like a message for each other. And you know, we see what you know, what will happen. So I asked a question, a message, if there was a message for Jen, and I also asked a question for me. But I have to say that, like I said, I was very excited this morning, you know, and then I started feeling very anxious, like I needed to go. Like I felt like the labyrinth was calling me, like, come here. So I was like, the whole time there, I was having like this anxiety kind of of getting there. So I don't know, it was just weird. So when I got there, well, you guys saw the video. I recorded the video, and then I started walking. And as I started walking, you know, I started thinking what the question for me, and I was getting too like on my head about it. Like, so I just decided, like, you know what? I don't want to ask any questions. I'm just open to receive whatever message I have from my higher self, from source, right? So when I started walking, I started hearing drum beats, like Native American drum beats. And it's weird because it's not like you know when you have a song stuck in your head, how you can hear it, but it's not like music is playing. I don't know. That's how it sounded. It sounded like, and I know like the like dun 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 dun. I don't know. It was very specific, and of course I got like all excited because native drums, like they do something to me, like to my blood. I don't know.
Like you totally resonate with them, and
Yes.
they like activate you or something.
Yes, and sometimes it makes my pineal gland vibrate.
Ooh.
So, but anyways, I thought that was cool. So, so anyways, I got to the middle part, and I sat down and I kind of meditated. But oh, I forgot to say, I brought with me I don't have it here, my selenite and my moonstone.
That's such a great idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. So they're both wands. So I had one in each hand, and I had my notepad. So I concentrated to see, you know, if I will receive any message for me. And then, okay, so like the question that at the beginning when I started walking was like, how can I, you know, enhance my psychic abilities and like that. And then I was like, oh no, I just want to know whatever, you know, whatever the message is. Hold on. Okay, so as soon as I sit down and I try to, you know, calm my mind, I heard, remember your ancestors, which it made total sense from the native drums. And then follow the path that your heart is guiding you. And hard work and dedication, which I think that was my answer for, you know, what can I do to enhance?
Well, I think they all tie into that same question, because you know, to connect with your higher self, you have to go through the heart. You can't use the mind.
No.
So that makes total sense to me.
And then the last one was stay alert. And I was like, oh, what do you mean stay alert? Like, what you mean? And then like I heard it like, just don't be tripping, just stay alert. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, like pay attention. Like when you get messages, pay attention.
Yeah.
Like that makes a lot of sense to me.
So I thought that was very cool. So when I was done with that, I set my intention to see if there was any message for you. And as soon as I said your name, I heard this bird like chirping, like it was obviously like, because it was like at the time where I was like Jen, and then it was like the bird. So I feel like the bird has something significant for you. Like I said, I don't know if you've seen a lot of birds or.
I'm always seeing birds. Yeah.
Something about birds. I don't know.
Maybe I need to start listening to the birds.
Yes. I do that.
Yeah, because I think they're definitely messengers for sure.
Yes, for sure. Also, sorry. Also, another message for you was have patience with yourself. You're too hard on yourself.
That's so true.
So yeah, that was important for me to pass that message along. Yeah. And then I also heard that this new moon is going to be significant for you. So
that's amazing. That's tomorrow. So I'm so excited.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I don't know. I just wrote what I was hearing.
Yeah. And that's all you have to do. I mean, some people don't even write the stuff down. I just have learned that I have to write down everything because.
Yeah. I like writing down things too. Yeah.
So when I went, first of all, there was, I got like ambushed by some little old man. Like we were there, we got to the labyrinth and I was like, okay, you know, trying to think of my question. And this little old man was like walking out of the church and then we made eye contact and then I'm like, oh no, here he comes. And he comes over and he starts talking and I know he was trying to convert me and everything. That's cool. But I somehow the conversation got on the topic of love because he started telling me his whole life story, how he's engaged and blah, 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 blah. So, so the topic got on love, and then I go to walk the labyrinth. So of course, you know, that was like the last thing on my mind, and that's what the whole theme seemed to be about love, which was really awesome. I mean, that's like super beautiful, and that's really
yeah.
So I went in and I was asking about you first because I was like, all right, let me get a message for Anna first. And so what I got for you was to get in touch with your playful nature and enjoy life and let love in, and to slow down and smell the roses and to breathe.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that ties in with your question that you asked the labyrinth, or if it was just like a general, I mean, I guess it could be a general message.
Well, I can see definitely how it can tie, but also it's funny because a lot of the things that you're saying, those are the messages that I've been getting from bugs and, you know, birds and stuff here lately, and animals. Like the squirrel told me, enjoy the joy of life.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been getting a lot of messages like that, like, you know what, just.
So have you been taking yourself too seriously lately?
Oh yes, always. It's hard for me just to like.
Yeah, and that's why they said, they're like, breathe, just like breathe, you know.
Yeah, it's like I have to have control of things.
Oh yeah, it's time to surrender.
Yeah. Yeah, you're actually the second person that tells me that on a reading.
So, but then I didn't have a clear like break between your message and my message. So some of this might be like running over into yours. Some of it might be for me. I'm not really sure. I just kept walking.
Maybe for both, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just writing down everything that I was getting. And so then I got, after that, after breathe, I got, it feels so good to be in the vibration of love. Take your time with, hey, I don't have my glasses on. Oh, take your time with it. There's no need to hurry. And then I got that song, you know that song by the Cranberries, Linger?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So that
I love the Cranberries.
And I'm like, let it linger. I'm like, okay, cool. And then and it's so funny that because then I got watch your step.
Stay alert.
Yeah, so they're like, watch your step and be mindful. So I'm like, okay.
That's similar to the stay alert one.
Yeah. And then when I got to the center, and then, you know, sometimes it's a good idea to stand in the center and like absorb everything and kind of reflect. I didn't sit down to meditate because it was like 90 something degrees here and the labyrinth was in the sun and it was kind of hot. So I was like, kind of like, you know, going through the labyrinth pretty fast.
I sat on hot rocks. So my area was a little rocky.
So when I got to the center, I got love is like a flower. It has to unfold on its own. If you try to force it, if you try to force its petals to open, it will die. So, and then when I was walking when I was getting closer to the center, I think at one point I had said something like, because I had to copy my notes from like this little thing that I like scribbled down. And so I got something like, oh, I was like, all of a sudden it popped into my head, where are we going? Or no, are we there yet? I'm like, are we there yet? And then they're like, where do you want to be? And then I get to the center and then I hear that there's like this Cream song, it's kind of old, that's like in the sunshine of your love. And I was like, oh, I want to be in the sunshine of your love. That's so awesome.
That's awesome.
And then, so then on the way out, I was getting to be the fool and take the journey without fear. Follow your bliss, be open to receive. And then at one point I'm like, how did I end up here? Because I was getting lost. Like I wasn't paying attention and I would stop to write something and all of a sudden I'd be like, wait, I already came from here. So I was like,
wow.
Oh, what am I doing? And then I'm like, so I got, how did I end up here? And I took a wrong turn and then I got, it's okay, you can't go wrong. It's all a game anyways, be free. So that was the end of the message that I got, but it was really fun. And
so pretty much there's no wrong going, you know, as long as you keep, you know, following your heart, like the message I got, you know.
Yeah.
you know, follow the path that your heart is guiding you.
Right.
And everything will be fine.
Yeah. And it's funny, like when I took my my friend to the labyrinth, he had a question, and I think his question was like, why do I feel born at the wrong time? And he got a song. What was the song that you got?
Gosh, it was.
I know what it was. It was.
You wrote it down.
I have like a playlist actually.
Oh, wow.
Because we go so often, and then we get the messages that that I decided to make a playlist. And
I think it's awesome how people get, you know, messages through songs.
I don't think I could. Oh, Take the Long Way Home. He got Take the Long Way Home. And the answer that he got was that, like, in his lifetime, time, you know, is a circle, and that eventually he's going to feel like he's at the right time. That he's.
Wow.
And it was funny because on that trip, he likes to walk the labyrinth really fast. And I think, like, oh, I'm going to take my time.
Yes, absorb it all. And
yeah. And so I looked at him and I'm like, you're not supposed to be going so fast. And the universe heard me and they're like, stay in your lane. But that's what they said. So the message I got on that one was, you know, you're on your own spiritual path, and other people are on their own spiritual path, and your spiritual path is yours and yours alone. And you might pass people on their spiritual path, but stay focused on your spiritual path. So I felt that was the universe telling me, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You know? And so it was like so classic.
Yeah. A lesson there for sure. But so after I was done with the labyrinth, so most of you, I'll tell the story again because that thing is kind of significant. So before I moved to this new place, at my other place, I found a dead beautiful blue dragonfly. That actually, to me, it means a lot because when I first woke up last year, the very first bug or animal or anything that brought me a message was a blue dragonfly that told me change is coming. So, you know, when I found that dead dragonfly, I kept it, and I was gonna put it on a frame and have it all pretty. And then when I first moved in here, I set it here. Well, next thing I know, it's covered in ants, and the ants were coming from the wall and the ground, and it was eating my dragonfly. And then I had to murder some freaking ants because, you know, they were inside my house. Yes, I'm an ant murderer. And so, you know, I was, of course, bummed out, like, oh, you know, I'm sad. What? That's a bad omen. What the hell? And then this morning, I actually filmed a video of a little baby blue dragonfly. I never seen a dragonfly so little. So to me, now that I see things different, I feel like that represented the, you know, the cycle that ended.
Oh, like your death and rebirth.
Yes. And the rebirth, the new beginning, you know, and the possibilities are endless.
Amazing. That's amazing.
So, okay. So when I left the labyrinth, I said all that story because I was going to get into this. When I left the labyrinth, I stopped at a stoplight, and then a blue dragonfly flew across. And I was like, of course he got my attention. And then I wanted to go to the physics store where they sell tarot decks and stuff. And I wanted to get a deck. And I looked into this deck. It's called the Spirit Messages. And when I was checking it out, the first picture that came out was this one.
With the blue dragonfly.
Yes. So I knew that I had to.
Just curious though, but what does it say on the card?
It says, "Hello from heaven. Your loved ones in the spirit world wants to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know that you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show you how much they love you and to prove that they're with you all this time."
Wow. That kind of goes along with the whole day that you had.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome. So cool.
Oh, also, that's weird. I just noticed the feather right there. So today I went to Walmart, and when I was leaving, you know, I don't know if where you live in the parking lot, there's a lot of those little black birds that they hang out there. Well, here in where I live, there's always those birds hanging in there trying to find something to eat or whatever. Well, I was getting in my car and I felt something tickling behind my leg, and it was a feather that got stuck to the back of my leg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of,
feel that's a spirit message for sure.
Yeah, a lot of synchronicities and a lot of cool stuff happened before and after going to the labyrinth. So, I mean, I'm gonna.
Yeah. You're like sold.
Yes, so I'm definitely gonna try that again, and I want to try different ones to see if I got a different vibe. Have you tried different ones, or you've been going to?
Yes, I tried different ones, and I sent you some pictures of the 2 different ones that I go to, where one is like very much the traditional, I don't know, it has a name, but honestly, I can't tell you what the name of it is. And then there's another one that's more like rustic, that's like kind of like the one that you did, where it's like out in some dirt and it's surrounded by grass and trees. Mm-hmm. The other one is like, it's like in the concrete. The design is part of the concrete, and it's like a real big traditional one. And another thing that I forgot to mention about the labyrinth is Edgar Cayce, who we all know was like a psychic, was very much into the labyrinths, and he has some big, like, of course we all know he's passed, but he has some big place in like Virginia, some like institute, or I don't know what it's called, but they have a huge labyrinth there that's got like dolphins in the middle, and it's like really, yeah. So, you know, I just thought
that'll be also a cool thing to do in different states. Like if you ever happen to be in a different state, I think that, because I'm sure like different places have different vibrations, different you know, energies around it. So,
I'm kind of bummed when I went to Sedona. I really wanted to go to the labyrinth there, but so much other goings-ons happened. I don't know if you know the story, but too much other stuff happened and I didn't get to make it to the labyrinth in Sedona. So next time.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't meant to, I guess.
Yeah.
The right time will come. So let's see who's here in the chat. There's a lot. If I miss your name, I apologize. Hi, Shannon, Scratch, Pyramid 7, Andrew, Rainbow, Anya, Supernatural, Miss M, Tim, Miss, oh, I said that already. Inspirational Touch, Alex, everyone, Rainbow, Quartz, everyone, welcome. And thank you for watching. But, so yeah, so actually, do you want to share anything else about the labyrinths? Any more information?
I think I pretty much touched on all of the, I mean, I might have forgotten some stuff, but I think you guys all get the gist of it anyways. Yeah. But what I wanted to talk about, we were talking about mediumship.
Oh, hold on. Before we go there, I want to share what I was showing you earlier about the Mayan Orion.
Oh yeah, we got to see that.
So here, I'm gonna screen share this, because I'm gonna read it. Let's see. All right, can you see that?
I can see it.
All right, so this is the Orion Maya Labyrinth, the mirror of Orion Maya Labyrinth. The goal of this article is to explain how the labyrinth is laid out and how the energetic work is done. So the functioning using the pyramid technology of the ancient Maya. That is to say that it is a frequency generating machine. The human brain and body, along with the pre-Hispanic indigenous instruments, become the movement part of this machine, which generates ultrasonic frequencies. The ultrasonic frequencies that we generate from this labyrinth machine, we can travel a radius of more than 100 miles, depending upon the size of the labyrinth and how many people are working with it. Ultrasonic frequencies produce subtle yet profound energies on human beings within the labyrinth, as well as those in its radius of influence. Effects include the activation of the latent DNA and our synchronization with the incoming higher solar and planetary frequencies. Wow. I wonder if you do that in a consistent basis, if the ascension symptoms will be less, because you're kind of tuning in with the frequency.
You know what? I wonder if you do it like, you know, full moon, new moon.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow's what is tomorrow? The new moon. I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and remember one of the messages for you was that the new moon was gonna be. Oh, wow. That's wow. So
maybe I'll get the keys to the universe if I go.
There you go, and you can come and tell us. The Maya identified the ultrasound frequencies of 13 hertz as being the frequency that brings about unity, harmony, and connectedness of all human beings to each other and everything in the universe. This is what the mirror of Orion Mayan labyrinth is all about. So I also will share this.
Can you show, because their labyrinth doesn't look like a traditional labyrinth. Do you have, like, if you can share the picture that I sent you? Or
oh, yes. Let me, here, I'm gonna stop share because I have to upload it on from my phone because it was a text message.
Oh, I could show it from my phone, but you probably won't be able to see it.
It's okay. It just takes 2 seconds. Actually, I think I did save it, didn't I? I think I did it before. Yes, okay. All right, it's in my messenger. So hold on 1 second. I need to open my messenger.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot more like information today from the labyrinth than I did from the other one that I went to. Like the one I went to today is that more traditional looking style, and the other one I go to is like outdoors, kind of naturey. So this is the one I went to today, and that's what they typically look like. And the other one that I went to was like.
Did you send me the other picture too?
I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because they both look the same.
They
oh,
have
no, yeah, you did. Hold on. Is that the one with something in the middle?
Yeah, there's like an obelisk in the center.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I need to send it to myself again on the messenger. Okay. So hold on. Let me see. Okay. Let me screen share again. Where's the? Okay, that one.
Yes, that's the other one.
And so, what is that? What that obelisk is? It's just concrete, or?
It's like, I don't know, something that they made, and it's got like mosaic stuff on it.
And those stones are to sit on, or?
You know what? I tried to sit on them.
They look uncomfortable, actually. They don't look very comfortable.
They weren't very comfortable. I was like, oh, nope. And so, yeah, I just kind of hung out, was like touching the.
Yeah, that kind of looks similar to the one I went because there's like trees and.
Yeah. So you can see how people could build these like in their own yards and whatever. Yeah. It's not that. That
would be awesome if you have space to do it yourself, so you don't have to go anywhere.
Well, I saw one at the beach where somebody just took a stick and they made the pattern, in the sand, and then they put the labyrinth at the beach, and then of course later, like the tide comes up and just washes it away. And
hey, that's awesome. That's a good idea too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So somebody, Miss M is asking, so are these labyrinths good or bad? They're good.
Yeah, I mean, if you think meditation is good, or I mean, the religious people use it as a form of prayer. And I think like when the Christians first started doing it, it was symbolic of making a pilgrimage like to the Holy Land or something, like for people that couldn't travel. They walked the labyrinth as like a symbolic gesture of making the journey to the Holy Land. So it's all about the journey into source, and then the journey, from source back to self.
Yeah. So, yeah. Actually, I remember when I was reading the video. Actually, Miss M, if you want, check out the video I uploaded today about the labyrinth. So because I kind of read what the instructions are and what it is and stuff, so it will kind of bring a lot of more clarity. But it says there that when you're in the middle, to try, to do your prayers. So.
And I think wasn't there a horror movie? I think Hollywood kind of made it like, you know, it's probably another one of those tools that they don't want us to know about because it's really powerful. I mean, you know, you tried it one time today and you got a lot of information.
I'm hooked.
So yeah, it's probably one of those things where they're just like, oh no, don't go there, you know, and then they put it in a horror movie so you think it's like some scary.
Like they always do. They reverse everything.
Yeah.
Everything good, they make it bad, and everything bad, they make it good. But yeah. But no, yeah, like pretty much what I got out of this is if you're like me, that you struggle meditating, that is a great form of meditating because you're moving, you know, once you get moving, you start getting in that balance. I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, totally balanced. Yes.
You get in harmony and your subconscious starts taking over. And that's when you start getting messages.
Yeah, and I think it has something to do with your body going left and right and left and right. It centers you somehow.
Yes, I agree with that. So yeah, definitely if you want to, or even if, you know, if you like meditating, if you want to try something new, I also recommend it.
Yeah, it's just another tool.
You do paintings, right? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I you know, I do paintings too. I haven't done that in a while, and that's another form of meditating, right? Because
yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, if there's a way to cheat, and I'm sorry, it's not that I'm lazy and I don't want to do the work, but I'm all about the shortcut. So I've found like all the shortcuts to meditation. Sure, awesome. but yeah, if there's a shortcut, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. I like that.
I don't have like 10 years to go sit in a cave to become enlightened. I mean,
no. I like that. I like that a lot.
Like I want an instant download. I want it now.
Yes, now. But anyways, back to what you wanted to talk about was the mediumship, right?
Yeah, because you and I were talking, and we seem to have like a really similar like spiritual experiences and like similar path with having to go through the whole like, what do you call that? Like the purging, you know what I mean? Like the
initiation, I guess.
Work. Yeah, the initiation, the shadow work, and then we were talking and in conversation. Yeah. I don't even know how it came out, but we were talking about hearing spirit or like deceased loved one. And you were telling me how you were in the sandwich store and all of a sudden you heard some lady talking to you.
Yeah, that's the first, I mean, you know, I will say, you know, I get visions here and there, you know, it's not like I can control them and, oh, I can tap it, like they just happen. I don't, you know, but lately, like the past 2 weeks, I feel like I'm tapping into something else, something different that I don't know, this is just new to me. It feels new to me. I feel like now I have more like an inner knowing instead of just seeing things. It's more like an inner knowing. Mm-hmm. And I was telling you that a couple of days ago, or 3 days, I don't know, this last week, I went to, it's called Potbelly's. It's a sandwich store. Mm-hmm. And there was a lady, a Hispanic lady, and her son, or I think it was her son, in front of me. And while I was waiting in line, I kept getting this nagging. Well, first of all, I got a goosebump all over my body. I was like, oh boy. Because to me, like, that's how I connect with spirit, or how I get confirmations with goosebumps. So I got a goosebump, and then I started feeling like that lady, like she lost somebody, a female, a very, like a family member or a very close friend, that it was a female. And it was telling me like make contact. And I was like, no. Yeah, and I was telling you, because I feel like, you know, the Long Island medium, how she just is out and she's like, the spirit is like telling her, and then she just gets up and tells her, hey, you know, this and that. And I mean, this is, like I said, this is so new to me. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't, you know.
Yeah. No, well, it was so funny because I've been having similar experiences. And so, I mean, that was something I used to be able to do like maybe 15 years ago, I was able to connect with spirits like that. And recently, since I've gone through the whole like releasing like shadow work thing or whatever, it's like kicked up everything. Like your abilities seem to just kick into overdrive, don't you
Yes.
think?
Yes.
So, yeah. And so all of a sudden, I'm starting to get that feeling. And you get this like anxiousy, like kind of weird, like
It's like an inner battle because you feel like
it's almost like somebody's invading your space.
Yes.
It's really weird. So we were talking about that. And so I had done a reading for Rainbow Phoenix, and we wanted to connect with her mom's spirit, and we did. I think we did. I mean, you can ask her, but the funny thing is like the next day I go to work, and there's this man that works in the building next door, and we were both out back, like smoking or whatever. And next thing you know, I'm getting a message from his son, and I know him well enough that I'm not going to, he's not like a stranger. So I was like, yeah, I just kind of like delicately brought it up, like she does on the show. I'm like, I channel energy, and I'm kind of a medium. And then he was like, oh. So then the next thing you know, I'm telling him all this stuff about his son, and he's like in tears, and I had the goosebumps too.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's just so funny how like we seem to be on such a similar
path.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, I mean, this is really new to me, and I was actually doing some research because, when you experience something like that, if you're like me, you research, and to me, what I heard about mediums is that, they see spirit, they get messages from seeing spirit and stuff like that. So I don't know, I guess I was just thinking that, if you're a medium, you see spirit. Mm-hmm. But actually there's different kinds of, mediumship. Some people don't actually see, but feel the spirit. And I think that that's what I am. I feel it because
and I'm the same way, because I don't like see. If I close my eyes, like I got a message for somebody else, and I was seeing like my grandmother, who was really short. And so when I gave them the message about their grandmother, I'm like, was she really short? And they said, yeah, she's really tiny. But my grandmother was like short and round. but the correlation, like what I kept getting from the message was that like somebody, short. So I think that you'll probably get the same thing, but like I don't see it with my eyes. I can like see it in my mind.
Yeah, that's what, and I feel like, I mean, it's obviously something that I've been presented for a reason, and I'm excited where this will lead. So
I'm totally open. Like I had Rainbow Phoenix ask me if I could contact her mom, and so I'm like totally open to trying that with people, because I feel like with these gifts, the more that it's like a muscle, the more you work it out, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, yeah, anytime.
I feel like I need to like step out of my comfort zone, and
Well, and I think the key thing, like a lot of people, everybody has these abilities, but the key is like listening. And I have just learned to listen to every random crazy thought that comes in my head, and I don't dismiss it as like some weird random thing. It's there for a reason. So I feel like if anybody's looking to strengthen their abilities, all they have to do is just start really paying attention.
Yeah. And the struggle is the rational mind wants to think like, no, it's just, it's just you, it tries to make excuses to rationalize the things that you're getting and make you double estimate yourself.
And like they make you doubt.
Yes, but I think that the more you do it, and the more you talk to people, and you get confirmation, and when you get confirmation, you start building confidence.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So,
and the more you do it, the more you're able to discern that, like, after doing it a while, that's the conscious mind telling you like stupid things, and the difference between the two. So you could be like, oh yeah, I hear you, and I'm not listening to you.
Yeah. It's not your turn.
Yeah, right. Go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, So does it feel more comfortable for you to like approach people when spirit, you know?
I don't have a problem approaching people because I work with people on the daily, and so I'm just comfortable with people. But I don't think I would go up and be like, you know, hey, I'm a medium. I would go up and be like, hi, how's your day? And then, you know, like kind of like catch their vibe and kind of like sneak my way into the, and if it can come up naturally or whatever, then yeah, but I wouldn't, but I haven't actually had that where like I was standing next to a complete stranger and felt like spirit, you know, talking to me. But I do know like I can't handle like busy places and like really crowded places because I start getting really anxious, and now I'm starting to like piece it together. Like the reason why I'm getting so anxious is because there's either too much energy from other people or spirit or whatever going on that that I'm feeling. So yeah.
Yeah. But I think that this is also like a learning process, you know, like learning how to, like if a spirit wants you to give a message to someone, if you're not ready or for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable, you know, you can tell the spirit, hey, you know what, right now, you know, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, I'm learning, or from what experience and from talking to you, and actually I was talking about this with Anya, you're in power the whole time, you're in charge. So yes, don't let, you know, the pressure of spirit, you know, rule it. But at the same time, you have to consider that, you know, other people might be hurting, or they need to hear that message to heal, or to, you know, and that's something that I'm really passionate about, helping others.
Yeah. And another thing that you and I both had in common was like the whole self-doubt thing. And I think with this too, it's the same thing. It's like learning to just listen, because there's so many times where I've been giving people messages and they'll say like, oh, you know, like I get the information, oh, it's the grandfather. And then my conscious mind kicks in and is like, it can't be everybody's grandfather or grandmother. Come on.
Oh my gosh. That's how oh my gosh, it's so weird that you said that, because I have a strong connection with my grandma, which she's in the spirit world. And, you know, when I feel like, for example, that lady at the sandwich store, the energy that I was feeling, it was a motherly, female, loving energy. And it reminded me of my grandma. And I'm like, no, Anna.
I feel spirit right now.
Yeah, I'm hot too. I need some of that. I had one, but I had it in a drawer with some oils, and the oil spill, and got going. Yes. But yeah. So yeah, it's a lot about trusting, and, you know, it's okay if you're wrong. Like, what? Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know what, it seems like whenever I do these, because I would do these readings, and I feel kind of bad because I was on Rainbow's channel and I was kind of a dick about it, because I was like, oh no, I only want to help people that are like serious. And then I started, but only because these readings were, when I first started doing these readings, they were taking me like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it was like, oh God, this is just too much. But so lately I've been like streamlining it and learning to trust myself, because Spirit's been telling me, you don't need to do all this stuff that you're doing. Just get the message and give it to the person. But I didn't feel confident enough to be like, okay, I don't need the chops and the this and the that, you know what I mean? So I've been practicing and working with it, and it's coming a lot easier. So then I was like, oh gosh, I should totally open it back up again for more people, because now it only takes me like 30 minutes.
That's awesome.
It was just a quick phone call or whatever. So I totally went on a tangent and forgot where I was going with that.
About trusting.
Okay, so like anytime I was getting something, I would hear that voice going, oh no, that's bullshit or whatever. And I wouldn't write it down. It would come out in the conversation, and the person they would go, well, actually, you know, my mom's favorite flower was a rose. And I'm like, damn it, I got that and I didn't write it down.
Yes, and then you're mad because like, oh, I couldn't say that, and now like only me knows that.
Yeah. And well, I would tell them, okay, I got that, but I didn't want to put it down because I thought it was too obvious, and so I doubted it. Like I don't have any problem with telling people like, yeah, I kind of blew it, but you know, whatever. Like you said, it's a learning thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Even the great readers, the great mediums, the great, they had their beginnings and how they learn and all of it. You can't jump from, not knowing to everything in a day.
To an expert. Yeah. Yeah. But we all kind of want to, though, don't we think? Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I struggle with that. I'm always like, no, I'm not this. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's actually funny that you mentioned that, because here lately I've been guiding to do readings, but not so much focusing on the cards. But like, if I want to use the cards, great. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna do it, because it's actually the second time that this pops up, and I really feel like I need to try it, at least try it. But to start doing readings and connecting with people's energies and see what I get from them, and then pull a card and see what it will come up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to see if it will match, or
Yeah, we should try that.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to start doing when I do card readings. I know I'm a little nervous about it, because it's completely out of my comfort zone, and the pressure is on, and sometimes it's hard to connect.
Yeah. Well, like for me, I don't know how to read the tarot cards. Like I don't have those memorized, and they don't always resonate with me. And so what I use the tarot cards, but what I do is I just put my hand on them and start asking myself, okay, what am I feeling? What is this energy like? What, and then stuff will start coming. And if I feel blocked, I'll even say, gosh, I feel like I'm stuck, or I feel like I'm blocked. And then somehow they'll say, oh yeah, I do feel that way right now. And like it all works out.
Yeah. So, there's times that I feel like super connected and I feel really on point. And there's other days that I'm like, no. And even from the beginning, I said that I didn't want to depend on the cards or any other tool necessarily, because I wanted to just tap to my own abilities. And I do card readings, and it seems to resonate with people, but they're just I can't get to that connection. So a few months ago I was guided to do this, where I to just tap into people's energy and do that, but I was too chicken to do it.
So you gotta try. You gotta
it's been a while now, and it's come up again, so I feel like my guides are like pushing me, like, do this, or at least try, And sometimes we build up things in our mind, like, oh, it's gonna be so scary, so out of your comfort zone. But in reality, when you're doing it, it's not that bad.
No, once you start doing it, don't you find like you kind of get in that like flow state where you're just like, oh yeah, it just starts coming to you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I am really hot.
No.
I want to turn on the fan, but I have to get it.
I have a fan going, but like these overhead lights that I have are like really hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have to probably, I won't turn it on because there's like 4 lights right up there.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys.
So yeah, I'll tell you a funny story about like spirit communication and just trusting your gut or your instinct or whatever.
Yeah.
So last Saturday, I got off work early and I was sitting at home and I kept thinking about going to the metaphysical bookstore. And I'm like, no, I don't need anything from the bookstore. Like, I don't need any books. I don't need any candles. I got all the incense I could use. Like, I don't need anything. Why am I thinking about going to the bookstore? So I'm like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go to take my roommate to work. And again, I'm thinking about the bookstore. And I'm like, why am I thinking about the bookstore? I don't need anything from the bookstore. So I'm like, no, I'd rather go to the beauty supply and spend my money on makeup. I'm going to go there. So I go into Ulta and I do my shopping or whatever. And I come out and I'm like, again, I'm thinking about the bookstore. And I'm like, all right, damn it, I'm going to the bookstore. I'm like, there's got to be a reason. So I'm going to the bookstore.
Yeah.
Go to the bookstore. And I'm like all ready to walk in and be like, what's going on in here today? Like, why am I here? And I open the door and this girl is standing there that we're not like friends, but like I know her.
You know them, yeah.
We're like new acquaintances. So I opened the door and as soon as I opened the door to walk in, she turns around and she's like, Jen! And I'm like, okay, that's why I'm here. So I walk up to her and she's like, what are you doing today? Like, I go, I don't know, spirit or something told me to come to this bookstore. So here I am.
Oh, wow.
But it turns out that she ended up inviting me out for the whole day. We went to
Oh, that's
this
cool.
really cool place. She took me out for vegan ice cream. We had
Cool.
like the most beautiful day. And of course I was trying to read into it like, oh yeah, maybe Spirit wants me to be vegan again. Maybe that's why they wanted me to come to the bookstore. And so, but then later when I got home and I reflected on it, they kind of had told me it was an exercise in trust. They're like, we want you to trust your instincts and follow your guides. And then they rewarded me with just a beautiful afternoon. So
yeah, that's great. I think it's really cool how, you know, some people just enter your life and does something and it's like, oh wow, I had a really good day. So unexpectedly, you know.
What I could have done was just like, I don't need to go to the bookstore, and just ignored it, and then, you know,
well,
went my way. So.
Do you get like because I get like this too, like sometimes I feel like I'm overreading everything, like like
over analyzing everything.
Yes, too much. And then I feel like, well, if I don't, would I miss something? I don't know. I kind of struggle with that. I have to like very use my discernment because, you know, I feel sometimes there's too many things at the same time. And I'm like, am I going crazy or is it really?
Well, I think that's for me why writing it down is so important, because then when I see it on paper, I can kind of see where I'm doing that, or if I'm doing that. Like if I'm asking too many questions, I'm like, you know, I'm writing it down and it's taking all day. I'm like, okay, this is too much. I need to like just step away.
Yeah. I actually, I woke up this morning and I wanted to do a card reading, but I was just not feeling it. And I was just like, and I was trying really hard and I was just like, no, forget it. You know?
I try every morning because I figured that's my like spiritual exercise. Like, you know, I get up every morning, I have my cup of coffee and I sit down with my notebook and my cards and I'm like, all right, what do I need to know today? And I start pulling cards, and sometimes the information just flows in like crazy. And then other times I'm like, I'm not feeling it, but that was weird. Something just like fell. So, but if I'm not but if I'm feeling it, I'll even write that down. I'll be like, I'm not feeling it today. Like Spirit,
you know
like,
what?
Where are you?
That's something I need to do because I do really well with routines. I'm a routine kind of person. Like, it's
that Virgo rising girl.
Yes. If I don't have a routine, I'm all over the place, right? So I need to find a time in the morning. And the problem is that my schedule every day is so different. So I need to find a time where, you know, I can just, you know, I have a beautiful patio out here where I can just like sit at least for, you know, 5 minutes and just try to like you were saying, what the thing that you do. So
I just know, like, if I have to be at work at like 9, I'm like, all right, I have to get up at 7 because that gives me time to get ready and then have my coffee and like talk to Spirit and make my lunch and like, you know, whatever.
You have to make time, that's for sure. To build that relationship, for sure. I mean, go ahead.
I was just like you were saying, like with the routines, it's just like, you know, when you build the gym into your routine or whatever else that you do, you just make a commitment, a personal commitment to do that. And then you just
wow. Just like the message. What was it? Hard work and dedication. So yeah, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Awesome. But I don't know if anybody has any questions that we can answer for them. Maybe we can take some questions and then because I think it's gonna be an hour here coming up and I'm burning hot.
Right, I'm like, I felt like a Southern belle. I'm like, oh
yes,
I got the vapors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm not answering that question.
I see that Ransom is in the chat now. So what happened to him?
I know. So is your internet good or what's going on?
Scratch wants to know if squirrels like bacon. I think squirrels like nuts.
Yes, they like nuts. what's your moon, Jen?
My moon is actually in Virgo. Well, it depends. I go by the sidereal astrology. So if you go by sidereal astrology, I'm an Aries and I have a Virgo moon.
So
Virgo,
you're a Virgo rising?
Yeah, Virgo. I had in
Or
the
Virgo ascendant, I mean?
Yeah, in the sidereal, I have a bunch of planets in Virgo, and the moon is one of them. So yeah.
I have a Cancer moon in Western, and I have a Gemini moon in Vedic on the nakshatra Mrigashira. I actually, have you tried to do mantras for your nakshatra?
No, I haven't.
That's very interesting.
I like mantra, like music anyways, just because I like yoga. I like anything that has to do with like India. Like I like the food, I like the way they dress, I just like everything about it. And so I like the Sanskrit mantras. I don't know. I'm not that educated on astrology.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. I just know a little bit about everything.
When it gets too technical for me, I'm like, oh, I'm out. You know, like
I know a lot about my stuff, but like I don't know about the 12th house and the 6th house and the 3rd house. I don't know any of that. Like I just know like the basics.
I know how to make myself a free chart and then Google stuff.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube is great for that. But no, I have a Mrigashira Nakshatra, and I love it because I feel like when you listen to, okay, this is my OCD part of the Virgo. I'm sure you have OCD too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have to do it in repetitive. So I do it like 5 times. For some reason, I think 5 times will be engraved in my subconscious and I'm good. I don't know why 5, but 5 times. So when I do it, I feel like instantly my vibration gets rise or risen or whatever. And I love it because I don't know what the heck am I saying, but I know it's the Mrigashira Nakshatra.
Well, I'll go Google the words. I'll go Google the meaning, and then I have to write the word in like, what would you call that? Like phonics, like, you know how it would sound?
Yes.
And then I'll write it like, you know, a few times, and then I'll sing it like to my writing, and then I get it memorized.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually Google it because I mean I know it's like mantra for Mrigashira Nakshatra, but I'm curious to know what it says. And I sound funny. I can try to say it. Sisi Krepak Yabik Mahi Maharaja Yabik Mahi.
I don't know my what are they called? Nakshatras? I don't know any of that. I mean, I did get a chart from Heidi, so I suppose I could like look it up and like figure it out, but
all right, Ransom is asking for the link, so I'm gonna try to see if you can join. Hold on. Invite.
So I don't watch the news. I get my news from the 420 news report, and if I don't get my 420 news report, I don't know what's going on in the world. So
yeah, and actually he's been able to upload videos back to his channel.
Oh, that's good.
The one that they
the old one or the new one?
The second one, not the DJ Ransom the Freedomist, but the 420 TV news something. There's so many. So I just sent it to him, and I don't know if he will be able to join or not. All right, I don't know if he will join, but I send the link. But quartz. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a question, but never mind. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's cool. Scratch is laughing at me. But you gotta smile. Oh, Miss M, you're funny. She says, Raven, hope it's not too personal. I'm just wondering what ethnicity you are with that accent I hear. I'm a mutt, but I'm Mexican, I guess. I don't know. I was born and raised in Mexico. I moved here when I was 15. So, but like I have Lebanese from my dad's side of the family. From my mom's side of the family, I have Guatemalan from Guatemala. So
wow. I think most of us are mutts these days. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow, 22 watching, 22 likes. That's awesome.
22.
Yep. So what numbers have you seen lately?
Oh my God, girl.
Oh, wow, Ransom is here and I've been ignoring it. I'm sorry.
I've been seeing all the numbers, but a lot of 21 all the time, or 13 have been like, you know, it used to be like 11 or 1 or whatever, but now it's like 21 and 13 and
oh no, that was Ransom for me.
Like 144, you know, whatever. They're all over the place all the time.
There you are. We can't hear you. No. So what happened? I thought your internet was no good.
You hear me now?
Yes.
I don't have no idea because the guy didn't know how to fix it. So it works now. I don't have an explanation. I don't know.
Magically fixed it, huh?
Well, he did all kinds of crap, but then he said he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, basically, and he had to send somebody. And it ain't even Tuesday, but this happened last time this shit happened. They said the same thing. We'll send somebody, and then it worked at night. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Welcome.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the R&R Show. Here's
Better late than never, I guess. I realized you guys were about done. That's why I was like, oh, no, never mind. It's late. But then you still sent the invite anyway. So then I felt guilty.
What did you hear about the labyrinth and stuff?
No.
Oh.
I got in and you guys were just talking about, you know, getting vibes and having visions and seeing dead peoples and shit was falling off in the background over there. And I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah.
You girl chat and stuff, right?
And then I thought for a second you guys were talking about me because you guys kept saying you were hot, and then you started talking about oils. I was getting excited, and then I realized it had nothing to do with me.
That's funny. Oh, you're funny.
I'm just kidding. I knew it wasn't about me.
So, do you have any 420 news to share with us?
I do, but I thought, you know what, that's boring. And since you guys been on for a long time and you guys are fanning yourselves so much, I thought like you could read that whatever spirit message for this bird over here, and I'll let you guys check out the bird.
Oh yes. Okay, tell us the story. What happened?
He was sitting in the highway and I drove over him, and then I felt bad because I thought, you know, that thing kind of looked alive. You know what I mean? Because it was just sitting there on the ground. I thought it was.
What kind of bird?
It's a dove. It's an African collared dove.
That's terrible because you know they mate for life.
Well, I only saw one, and I knew that about dove. I don't know if this is a girl or a boy, but like 5 more cars drove over it, and you could tell that they realized at the last minute it kind of looked alive and tried to drive over it instead of on it. So I ran out there and grabbed it, and he or she seems to be doing all right. I don't know.
Show us. And I have it's
a happy ending. Jesus.
Yes. He told me about this, and you know me, I did some research about the spirit, the simulation.
Look, oh my God.
This is a wild collared dove. I guess you can find them everywhere in America. See, I didn't know. It's a collared dove. It comes from Africa, but they let them loose in the U.S. in 1980, and now they're in almost all the states now.
Oh my God.
And he or she is just really calm and likes me because
he lets you hold him and everything. That's so cool.
Yeah, well, it may be half retarded. I don't know. It did get hit probably.
Oh my God.
Got a wound on its head right there.
Well, how do you feed it?
I put some bread out there. It just eats like seeds and stuff, so shouldn't be that hard to feed it.
Is the wound
Hey, look, it's a shit on my notepad. How about that?
That's lucky.
Right? It's Animal Kingdom tonight, and my cats are going insane.
Oh wait!
And it looks at you when you talk. It's weird. Like,
I can turn this on. I can turn this on now.
Oh, okay. It's the R&R Show with the wounded dove. But ain't this supposed to have some kind of super duper spirit message? Because doves are all over the world.
Yes. So.
But this dinosaur's been creeping me out because he looks at me when you talk.
You mean the bird? You're calling him a dinosaur?
Yeah, they're dinosaurs, man. You ever see those little grackles and ravens and stuff? When
Yeah.
If you ever seen a parrot or anything without the feathers? Oh God, they look just like a little stupid Tyrannosaurus, but they're midgets.
They're so cute though. They're like ugly in a cute way.
What was I gonna say?
Don't shit on me.
Scratch says you're the dove whisperer.
I'm the tarantula whisperer, rattlesnake whisperer, any animal. I'm not afraid of animals.
Okay, but I want to share with everybody what the symbology of a dove. So it means gentle, love, peace, kindness, spiritual serenity, healing journey, and faith. Dove symbology is widespread across the world and is consistently presented as peace and love. As a spirit animal, the dove represents spiritual journey and awareness. When the dove totem appears to you, it can symbolize that you're about to embark on a spiritual journey in which you will learn and grow.
You know what though? I am going to the petroglyphs at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's 10,000-year-old people drawing all kinds of weird stuff like UFOs and those zodiac, the zodiac crosses out there. I've seen some other pictures. I'm gonna get some good video. There's even a hand with an eye in the middle of it.
Wow. Well, there you go. Your spiritual journey.
It will be spiritual, or at least I'll think it will be.
This totem also represents love and is associated with a feminine strength and connection. The pureness of this totem gives the ability to love others with pure and unfailing love, that the rarest love of all. When this totem comes fluttering into your life, it's a sign that peace and love will soon follow. It may be surprising, but the dove spirit animal often chooses to guide people who have been hurt in their past. That's because this totem has an amazing healing abilities. The bird can teach you how to heal, and it turned help others heal, especially when they had been in painful and traumatizing wounds in the past. When the dove appeared to you, allow it healing power to guide you and help you begin your journey of healing. In the spiritual side, when you think of the dove symbolism, it's apparent that a totem represents someone who is very spiritual. As a dove totem person, you will find that it's easy to embrace a spiritual lifestyle filled with traditional and ritual.
Well, I don't know about that, but that sounds backwards because, this bird didn't come to me. I kind of went to it, and it was obviously hurt. It's hurt and traumatized. The bird was, not me. So I'm like its human totem today.
There you go.
It's lucky, and I'm not Dr. Doolittle. I don't talk to them, but they sure do look like. I noticed that with birds and mammals, all of them. If they're smart enough to hang out with you, when you talk to them, they look at you, and I swear they're trying to figure out what's up with what you're saying. They don't know. I don't know. Maybe they do know.
So what's wrong with what is it with the?
I don't know. It's got a bloody mark right over its eye there, but its eye's still good, and I've seen it open its eye and everything. And now this is as lively as it's been so far today. It's mostly been just kind of kicking it in the box that I put. And you know what? Ironically, check this out. You want to talk about synchronicities? I have a big box over there that was in the middle of the road the other night, and I picked it up because it was in the middle of the road, and I threw it in my truck. So I just happened to have a box to put the bird
Wow.
that was also in the middle of the road.
Wow. So you think it will heal up?
I think it looks like it's alive to me, man. This is better than a tire. So the only problem is I got a lot of cats outside, and if this thing can't fly, it's kind of screwed.
Oh, no.
I tried to give it to the zoo, and they said, we're not taking birds at this time.
Don't they have like animal control? I think.
Oh yeah, they'll come and snuff it.
Oh, they snuff it?
Yeah, animal control come and destroy it. They're good at that. They like destroying dogs, cats, and they get the 3-day grace period down at the jail before they get their execution. But if nobody gets them in 3 days, they're toast.
That's how I got my dog Hope. I found her on a post on Facebook from a lady that she's a vet, and she posted a picture of different dogs at the Humane Society, and she said that if nobody adopted her by Wednesday, which it was 3 days after, that they were going to put her to sleep. Whoa.
Oh, maybe he flies now.
No, I think he's got a messed up wing, but maybe the noise, don't like all the noise.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think you should try that for a while.
Well, you don't put it in somewhere.
Stop looking at me like that, man. That's weird, man. See that? That's weird.
So
Yeah, Lily wants to eat it, of course.
Pisces says he probably ran into a moving vehicle at night. Doves are good for that.
Well, if he did it at night, that's one lucky ass bird because he survived all the way until like 4 o'clock in the day, and then I picked he was in front. I think he was trying to get pizza at Little Caesars, man. That's what was near there.
What's Miss M was wondering what's your sign, your zodiac sign, Ransom?
I don't know if it's Western. I think I'm a prick in a horse's ass.
Sagittarius.
But then the Vandenberg, the other
Vedic.
side there, the Vedic people say I'm a triple
Scorpio.
double Scorpion or something like that. I don't know.
Double Scorpio, I think.
I could see that.
It's confusing. With all these different things, man. And then I'm a damn eagle in the Mayans, and
Yeah. And you're a Jaguar, Jen.
I'm unemployed in the American horoscope. I have to go over to the unemployed page on our horoscope over here, even though there's supposed to be lots of jobs, but just not for people like me.
All right. Well, I think that we should end the show. It's too sad that you came in so late.
No, I think that was fun just to drop in for 5 minutes and not have to participate fully.
Half-ass. Great job.
It's 420. That's what we're about. No, I'm just
all right. Well, I want to thank you, Jan, for coming and sharing the labyrinth knowledge and for telling me about it, because I feel like I needed that. I needed to find that out.
And you guys are talking about the maze of plants and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a labyrinth, but it's not really a maze. There's only one way in and one way out. So yeah. You can't get lost, but yeah, kind of.
They're built by conformists. You only get one path and don't stray off of it or you'll be in the hedges.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. That makes me think of that old 80s movie with the freaky dude in the hand, the eyes in the hand. What was that, David Bowie in there?
Oh, wow.
David Bowie.
Thank you for having me on. I had a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that we tried that experiment today. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was very fun. Do you want to plug your services or anything?
Well, I do have a channel with no videos, and I'm working on a website, but if anybody can, if they want to just contact me telepathically, I'm totally open to doing I'm totally open to doing readings or mediumship work or what have you. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, it was awesome to have you. Thank you for joining, and I will see you guys next time. Good night, and thanks for watching. And you guys hang in there. I'm gonna.
Yata hey.
So, in la que, you guys. Bye.